this week, this month, that Kennedy decided that he wanted peace in the world and he didn't want a war with the Soviet Union. And that is why we're still here, because it would have been a nuclear war in which essentially all life on Earth would have ended. And that included not just people, but all the animals, and even the trees and the flowers were affected in the Ukraine when releases took place from their nuclear plants in the Soviet Union. So we are very fortunate to be here. 50 years ago, the Test Ban Treaty was discussed. I testified in the Senate that we must absolutely sign it, and that we did. And unfortunately, because there was a conspiracy which is now described in books and articles, that Kennedy was assassinated because he did not want a war at the time when nuclear weapons were so big. Okay? And so we're really here, in a way, because Kennedy had the determination to end all wars. And that is what we owe Kennedy, because he really wanted peace. And we now know that we greatly underestimated the effect of small amounts of radiation because we were misled by the lack of serious effects of ordinary X-rays on adults. But when we learned gradually at the time that the children, especially in the womb, were hundreds of times more sensitive to the radioactive particles that were created in the fission of uranium, because we recognized this at the time, we are lucky that we had Kennedy and persons other than that who really wanted to end the threat of nuclear particles from fallout and from nuclear reactors' daily emissions. Because people did not know, and they were told that the reactors, you go around with a Geiger counter, there's not much more than the cosmic rays that we've had for millions of years coming down from the sky. What we did not know is that when radioactive fission products got into key organs in the body, then the effects were hundreds to thousands of times greater than we had learned from our medical experience. Therefore, we really owe a huge, huge amount of credit to Kennedy, who believed all the material that we sent him. And unfortunately, we have continued to build nuclear power, but the latest issues of the New York Times, yesterday's New York Times, has an article on the front page of the business section that talks about the fact that in Georgia, where 2 giant reactors were being built, the costs were so enormous that there is no question to be able to compete with clean energy from the sources such as the sun and hot rocks and deep in the earth that can be drilled into and produce steam. And we know now that we get solar panels and we can have all the energy we need for the rest of our life on Earth if we phase out nuclear power.
Wait. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, wait 1 second.
Okay.
Joe, you have something to give to Ernest?
Hold on. We have 2 presentations to make to Ernest.
One Joe has.
Give you something.
Yeah, we want to give you two things.
We're going to give you some things.
Okay.
Ernest, this is a copy of the testimony that you gave almost 50 years ago to the day to the U.S. Senate on behalf of the Test Ban Treaty.
Oh, that's
on behalf of all of us, thank you so much.
That's really historic.
Enjoy reading it.
Okay, I have something else to give Ernest. When I found out it was the 50th anniversary of his testimony, I got him what he really needs more than anything I can think of. What was he talking about? A Geiger counter! Hey, this is the latest technology in a digital Geiger counter, and I have one being flown here with his name engraved on the back of it. Because if anything, he should have one of them wherever he goes.
There you go. Yay!
This one is not yours. This is a representative sample.